What's going on? What's up? What is shaking? Welcome back. BTCinema coming at you live from the Fotch Cave. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's where I'm coming from. Doing another episode of the Faccmonster Cafe, episode 15 of this series that I started last year. Wanted to keep it going in the new year in 2024. So that is what we're going to do tonight. Have a good buddy of mine coming on tonight, somebody who I've known since I started this YouTube journey. Waiting for looks like his device is not connected at the moment. But a good buddy of mine that I've kept in contact with this entire journey so far. My man Jason Nike. It's definitely been a long journey. We've lost touch a little bit. Didn't interact as much as we did in the beginning. But it always comes full circle. Um, we've done a couple videos since. Getting to hang out again feels really good. It's like the band's getting back together type of deal. So this is gonna be obviously a refresher, I would say, because obviously I think I know him pretty well. I know his tastes and everything. So looking forward to hanging out with him tonight and getting to know him a little bit more. And hopefully you guys can get to know him a little bit more. I'm trying to get my screen to work. It's acting really, really weird. Really weird. Aaron Click, my man, what's popping? What's shaking? What's happening? Speaking of the devil, Jason Nike, ladies and gentlemen, from Backtrack Cinema. Jason, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. Sorry about that. My webcam is acting up on a certain USB port lately, so it's got to be plugged into the right one. I don't know why. So, just let me know if everything's okay.
Nope, you're good now.
Yep.
I can hear you good. You look good. Fantastic. Like I was saying, we came into YouTube around the same time together. We did this the Stream Demons thing for a while. Obviously, connecting a lot of different people. Eventually, they're gonna go separate ways, and it's gonna kind of fall apart. Which obviously it did. We had our fair share of shows. I mean, I wasn't there for most of them, but I was there for some. But you were definitely one of the first people that I interacted with on YouTube. And it's nice to have you back on the channel again. I know for a while there, we were just doing our own thing. We didn't really interact as much as we did before, but we've been talking a little bit more, and I'm glad to have you on in the cafe tonight, my good man.
Um, I'm happy to be here, dude. I think this idea you have is great, and I got my Nightmare on Elm Street teacup, so I'm in the cafe. I'm ready to rock it, and yeah, I mean, it's been a long journey. It doesn't look like it because I rebranded this channel, so I did start over, but it's going fire, man. It's going fire. I'm having a good time, and yeah, it's been what, 3 years? 3 years, something
Yeah,
like that.
a little over 3 years, three and a half.
2020. I
Yep,
started in June of 2020.
me too.
Um yeah, and I rebranded in like a year ago, last November. So
I remember one of your first review was Jaws, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
my verse on the old on J Man's or Jason Nike, I guess back then. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, Jaws was my first review. On this channel, it was Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf was
both bangers.
I wanted to send a clear message what this channel was going to be, and we're going back, a little bit of horror, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of everything, really. But
That's let me real quick say hellos. Lamontra, what's up? Christian, what's going on? Antonis, how are you? Sebastian, happy New Year's to you guys. Happy New Year to you guys. First show of the new year. David, how's it going? Yeah. So first show of the new year. First Faccmonster Cafe. Wanted to have Jason on this evening. Obviously, you talked a little bit about it. But what made you want to dive into the YouTube game in the first place? All those many years ago, my friend.
oh man, I wanted to do it back in 2018, and I just was so chicken shit to do it. I'm actually very introverted. I'm very shy
Hmm.
and shit like that. So I was like, but I used to watch Chris Stuckman. I think he was the first guy I ever watched. like way a long time ago. Probably a lot of us did, but um, guy knows his shit. I really like Chris Stuckman, but our taste in film is not exactly always lines up.
Mhm.
So, and then I'd say the first guy I ever followed, and I still follow him to this day, and that's Cody Leach. If it wasn't for Cody Leach, I wouldn't be watching anybody. Because Cody Leach led me to Drum Dums led me to Dave McCrae. Dave McCrae led me
Mhm.
to this person, and that person, and Brian Lomax. I'm a really big fan of. He's actually my favorite movie reviewer. Is Brian Lomax?
Mhm.
That's the guy I just love. It doesn't matter what movie review he does, I'll watch it. Like it's just love that guy so much. Um, and yeah, but Cody was the first guy I follow, still follow him today, and so I just got inspired, and I've
Mhm.
always been someone who's wanted to talk. I have That's all I. If there's no movies, I'm not talking about anything
Yeah.
because that's movies and music are my thing, and I just love talking movies ever since I was really small. That's at friends at school, but I just drive people nuts. I drive my wife nuts talking about movies. That's what I love about watch parties. I could talk through the whole fucking movie and no one's gonna tell me anything. But
Nope.
yeah, it's just I got inspired and obviously I thought it was gonna be kind of I know how to talk movies. Right. Until you get in front of that camera, I'm still trying to hone I'm still trying to hone my own skills. So it's not easy, but I love it. Obviously I love it, man. I wouldn't
Well,
be
yeah.
doing it for this long.
Yeah, this is something we came in together around the same time. I didn't know how long it was gonna last. I didn't maybe give it a little bit of a go, couple months, and then be like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. But we're still going, and it's more, you know, about the enjoyment of being with the people that we've interact with, that we've met along this journey, more than it is for the views and the comments and the likes and whatever. I mean, that stuff's important too, in a sense, but the community that we have and that we've kind of helped create a little bit, I would like to say, we had you had the big boys like Cody Leach and McCrae and all them, but then we've kind of have our own little niche underneath. So it's
Yeah.
really cool that we've kind of got this great community, and for the most part, we support each other. I know occasionally there's going to be an outcast that does certain things for themselves, but for the most part, we support each other and help each other the best that we can. Um, I remember you were Jason Nike, and then you went to J Man's Movie Cave,
Yeah.
and now Backtrack Cinema. And your channel's, your channel is doing really well. You're almost what? You're pretty close to 1,000 subscribers. I mean, you're not that
Yeah,
far away.
it just fucking Matt, honestly, I was just like I wasn't expecting I rebranded. I thought, okay, let's how this one because my channel came to a complete stop, like
Mhm.
a complete stop. I'm talking like 40 views, 35 views, 20 views. So I said, no, this is something's got. If I'm going to do something, and I watch Sean Chandler a lot on his like advice, like his advice videos. I think he's got a separate
Mhm.
channel for it called Real
Yeah.
Creators. I think, and he said something about don't make your channel a drunk drawer and do everything. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna focus it into reviews and rankings. I'm not doing anything else. Now, obviously, I do other things too, but for the most
Yeah.
part, it's reviews and rankings. And I'm Backtrack Cinema, and that's a name me and Beth from Miss 80s Music and Movies, she was B-Side
Yep.
Records, then she became Red Rum Records. Um, since she's such into the 80s, we're good friends, and I said, I really wanna maybe just talk movies of the past. And she said, "Oh, how about Backtrack Cinema? I've always liked the sound." And so give her credit. She named the channel for me, and I just the great Woody Bowen made this logo up. I got this made into a
Badass.
sweater. Love it. So I told him kind of like what was about. As you can see, that's you can't really see it, but one's Rambo, one's Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, one's RoboCop, and one's John McClane. That tells you what the channel's about. Um, I thought, everyone's talking horror. Everyone. I talk
Yeah.
horror on my channel, but it's more of a 30% out of the 70. I would say
Yeah.
70% action, 30% horror. But I thought there's got to be action fans who want to come to channels and talk those movies too. Because for me, a B grade slasher movie and a B movie action movie are kind of they're the same. Gratuitous violence,
Yeah.
fucking titties all over the place, and and kind of the same experience, just in a different way. So I said, there's got to be people who love this shit too. And so I started with doing a Dirty Harry. Then I went through Death Wish. Then I said, shit, this is working. So then I did like Bloodsport. Then I did an alphabet action movie challenge in the summer, which I got the
Yeah, you
last
did.
letter to do. I got the last letter because so busy. But so I said, I'm gonna focus this more on action. And then I just put a poll out. What do you want to see me do more? And the poll, horror is winning the poll. And then that Ronnie and I think it's Ronnie or Blake from All the Good Names Are Taken podcast, great
Mhm.
channel, said don't ever put polls out. Everyone's always going to choose horror. They all want
Yeah.
to watch the same thing. He says, I love your action reviews, and I'm just thankful people are starting to notice the niche. I'm thankful that people are saying, "Man, I love when you talk action." So, um, I love horror, but man, action and horror to me, I can't decide honestly
They're
which one
close.
I like more. They're so close. I just love them both so much. And when you mix them together, then you get Silent Rage, you get Cobra, you
Yeah,
get
you
The
do.
Thing, you get Aliens, you get Predator. You know what I mean? It's such a great blend.
That's You're right. There's a lot of horror channels, and my channel is nowhere anywhere close to what it was. I don't do movie reviews anymore. I barely do trailer reactions. There's just so many people doing the same things that I just don't have the drive to rush home anymore and do a trailer reaction to something. I mean, of course, unless we're getting like a new Halloween movie, then of course I'm going to do that because I'm a Halloween guy and I love Halloween. But
And
other,
what I found is that on the old channel, reactions ruined my channel. Literally ruined it. I did some research, and the problem was with reactions is that they weren't watching anything else. People who watch reactions were just watching reactions, and so they'd
and
watch
left.
my. I'd get this. I wouldn't get many subs. I'd get a few, but this channel, one thing I really noticed is that, and I still notice it, is that when you look over how much views you're getting over 48 hours, and it tells you where the
hmm
video, like the real time, I'll get like I'm getting 100 to 200 views every 48 hours from different videos
hmm
across the board. Like I just looked it up like a couple hours ago. It's like 122 views in the last 48 hours. It tells me what videos it's and like my Halloween ranking is still bringing in views and like good comments too. Like when I did
Damn.
that, I thought I was gonna get freaking trashed because where I put Rob Zombie's Halloween movies,
hmm
they say, "Dude, I respect your opinion. Great video. I love finally someone who loves Rob Zombie, doesn't treat him like a piece of shit." And I was just like, "Well, I'm gonna be pretty honest. I'm always honest, but people are watching the channel though. They're clicking
Yeah.
onto other videos. That's ve- see, I wasn't growing before like that at all.
Yeah.
No one was watching anything anymore. They'd watch a bit, but they weren't watching the rest. So I'm just sticking to what seems to be doing right. I got my regulars who come in on every video, and I get
Yeah.
shitload of engagement. I've noticed too. Like I'll maybe get 50 views or 60 views on a video, but I'm getting like 15 comments. Like that's great. Like for me, that's great.
Yeah. I tend to get decent likes, but I don't get comments at all. Barely ever get comments. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. I mean, but most of my stuff is live streams, so I guess people don't really most people watch it
Yeah,
live and they just talk
I
about it in
don't get a
chat.
lot of engagement in live streams. See, I'm the opposite. I don't. That's why I don't do much live. I don't get the I don't get a whole. It's getting better actually. Like I'm clearing 100 views on each watch along so far, almost. So that's pretty good. So in the new year, actually this Sunday is my first watch party, called A Man in a Movie. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna do like a season one kind of thing, and then see how it goes because I don't want to. do them all year because you want to kind of like
Yeah,
break them up and be like, okay, we want to look forward to Backtrack Cinema Watch Party on Sundays, so kind of
yeah.
thing. So um yeah, so basically I just rebranded and I refocused, I retooled, so to speak,
Um,
and it
you
just
have
seems
to.
to be working. Like it's growing at a good pace. July and December were really banger months for me, and yeah, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, just talking 70s, 80s, 90s for the most part.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I, I mean, you're hitting a niche and you're getting the views and the traction. So congratulations on that, buddy. It's good to separate yourself from the big clump of horror YouTubers that we were before. Trying to now we're just trying to go down different paths. I mean, I do still do the horror stuff, but trying to do other things because I don't know. I love horror, but I mean, it kind of gets stale after a while talking about the same shit over and over and over again.
And
Um,
I love all movies. So
mhm,
I can't just stick to one thing, really. Like if I have it in my mind to talk, except for I'm not doing a whole lot of new movies. Um
me either.
like I'm trying to, that's the only thing I'm trying to stay away from. They don't do well anyway.
Mhm.
But so I'm thinking about maybe doing that in a YouTube short kind of way. Maybe if someone wants my thoughts on something, but no one's really asking my thoughts on except for like Dial Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, and I reviewed like 3 in a row recently, and I just put it all in
Mhm.
one video. Um, but like the ones that hit hard are like Cobra, and I did Kickboxer and Bloodsport were all like like they got good views, right? So I said, well, maybe this is what people want to see. You know what I mean? So, and I got a lot of passion for action. So
Well, since you are a horror fan as well, I already know the answer to this question probably anyway, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Out of the big three, which is your favorite of the big three? I know the answer already, but you got to say it.
it's Friday the 13th, brother. I just think this series is so fun. It's entertaining. Of course, it has its dumpster fires, but you know what? Even I'll still go through the whole series, except for Jason X. I can't do that movie.
Thank you.
Just can't do it. I can't do that fucking movie whatsoever. I know a lot of people say I love every Friday movie. Not me. No, Jason. I'll even come around to Jason Goes to Hell a lot more.
Me too.
I dig it. I'm digging it a lot more than I ever used to. But Jason X, I can't do spoofs. I don't like when people make fun of the people we're supposed to be like that well, not really rooting for, but I love
Yeah.
Jason. Like I don't want to see him in space and turning into a fucking
Yeah.
Power Ranger and that shit.
I I'm right there with you. That's the one of the franchise that I will not watch. I won't. I rewatched it to do my watch along series, and that's it because I just have no enjoyment watching that movie at all. I mean, my guest tried. He tried to get me to like it. It did not work. It's just not for me. Not for me at all. I saw it in theaters when it came out.
So did
I
I.
liked it. I liked it then, but I mean, I was a lot younger, so of course I liked it. But now, no, not
Yeah,
for me.
it's funny. It's funny to see how movies hold up. I wasn't really in a whole lot of Christmas spirit this year, but you know what? The wife went out with a girlfriend. I thought I'm gonna put Gremlins on. That movie's not as good as when I remembered it as a kid.
Okay,
You know what I mean? I still like it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more of a Critters guy myself.
I I agree. I Everyone's like, "What do you think about Gremlins?" I was like, "It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I don't think it's the best movie in the world." And then they're like, "What do you mean? What are you? Gizmo's cute. I mean, I get it. He's adorable, but the movie itself, it just, I don't know. It's fine. I grew up with Critters more than Gremlins. I watched
I
those a lot
love the
more.
first Critters. I love that movie. That's a great flick.
Get the freaking bounty hunters and shit. I like that stuff. It was
Yeah,
good.
that it seems to be gone too. Like it seems like a lot of movies are so fucking bleak now. Which I like a dark movie. Don't get me wrong when I say that, but the where's the fun movies? Where's the ones that are having a lot of fun and just you know they don't care what they do in it, and the '80s was full of them like that. Like
Yeah,
Critters, Return to the Living Dead, one of my favorites. Just just
banger.
just a banger fun time and nothing else, you know what I mean?
Absolutely love Return of the Living Dead. What? I guess outside of the big three, if you had to pick, which would be your favorite horror franchise outside of the big three?
Okay, it's gonna be maybe Nightmare on Elm Street because I like the first 3 so much. I can tolerate the 4th one. Other than that, they could all eat dog shit after that. I'm not a big fan of 5, 6. I hate the remake. But,
Right.
I think Psycho's overlooked. No one talks about Psycho enough. I
It's
mean,
good.
Psycho 1, 2, 3, and 4 are it's a solid franchise, and if you put that freaking, show in there, the Bates Motel, that it's good. Loves Psycho 1. Psycho is one of my favorite horror films of all time. Maybe my favorite. Like, maybe it's a question you can ask soon. I don't know. Um, and then Psycho 2, great. Psycho 3 is a lot of fun, and Psycho 4, I think, ends it really well.
I got. I did enjoy the Psycho franchise. I ain't gonna lie. Obviously, I prefer two and three more than the original. I know that's terrible to say, but it's just my taste. I do, and I got some more blasphemy. I actually enjoyed the remake. I
I
know it's shot for shot. I get it, but Vince
yeah,
Vaughn
I
gets me, and
haven't
I just find him
I never
hilarious.
wanted
So
to return to it. I never wanted to. So, um, but yeah, I hated Vince Vaughn in it though. I
come
don't
on,
like I don't like the way they treated Norman and that he just didn't there was no subtle nuance to it. It was very just like the way he laughed and he seemed creepy. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like but yeah. But no, I think a lot of people most people when everyone talks about their favorite horror franchise, how many people are saying Psycho? Maybe because there's not enough movies. People think, well, it's only 4 movies, but it's still a franchise.
Little
Still a pretty
franchise.
solid one, right? So, yeah, but I guess yeah, I guess Nightmare because those first 3 are so good. Oh, and
Um,
sorry, New Nightmare I really like too. So, eh,
Leads right into Dylan's New Nightmare. Just saying.
yeah, that
Just
was
saying.
good too.
That was good. That was good. Um, so I guess you might use the same answer for this question as well. What do you think is an underrated horror franchise? You might have already answered this question with Psycho, but there might be another one.
An underrated horror franchise. Maybe Evil Dead? And I haven't seen the latest one yet. So if I really enjoy that one, it's even gonna be even better. Um, Evil Dead's pretty good. Um, underrated. Hmm.
On this
Frick,
question,
that's
I
tough.
usually get a lot of the time. I usually get the same answer from most people.
What is
Usually,
it?
usually get Phantasm. That's a big. That's what most people say.
I haven't seen them all though. I've only seen the first one, so
Oh,
I wouldn't know, right? And I've
see,
only seen the first
yeah,
2
that's true.
Hellraiser movies. I've only seen the first
Nah,
2 Hellraiser movies, so
I don't blame you.
I'm thinking like as far as underrated horror franchises, I don't like when I think underrated, I think ones that no one's talking about really. They go completely
Yeah,
under the radar, right? And so it's tough. It's tough, but like probably yeah, like I said, I go back to Psycho. Even though Psycho is legendary as far as the first one,
yeah.
right? But the rest they don't seem to get as talked about.
Forgotten.
Yeah.
I think maybe because it was so many years after. What was the second one? 22 years after the first, or
Yeah,
28?
something like that. Something like that. It was 1960, the first one to 1983. So
Maybe that's why
23 years. 23 years. So yeah.
people probably don't. Most people, I mean, casual horror fans might not even know there are any more psychos than just the first one. So that might be why people don't talk about it as much as other franchises. It's not really thrown in your face as much either as Halloween, Nightmare, Friday, Scream, uh, so on and so forth. But you might have already answered this question as well. So, what would be your favorite horror movie of all time? Is it Psycho?
Uh, on some days it is. There's three of them that compete. The original, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, and Psycho. Those are the top three I always pick. That when I do a ranking, they're always going to be in there, followed by Jaws. I like Black Christmas a lot. That's right, my top
Yep.
10. Um, I love that shit. Obviously Jason Lives is in there. I love that movie. Recently though, like Starry Eyes, I really like that movie. Really, really
Yep.
love that movie. That's if you're asking me underrated horror, no one talks
Yep.
about that movie. And I just don't understand like that. I think there's no one seen it. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's not really put out there that much. I mean, the only reason I knew about it was because of you.
Yeah, and Lee reviewed it. That's how I knew about it. He was talking about that one a lot. So I said I'm going to watch it and I said I got to talk about this movie. And you know, I heard that they took a lot of inspiration. It felt a lot like Rosemary's Baby, and that's one I've watched. I watched not that long ago. I would go, Rosemary's Baby is so good, right? That's like I like a slow burn. I like a
Yep.
slow burn. I like paranormal and possession more than most people too. So when I went, that's why I said, you know, I did a blind buy of Exorcist Believer. I go, it can't be that fucking bad. It just can't be. There's no way. It's not great,
I,
but it's not a 1-star movie as far as I'm concerned. Blind
right
buy.
there.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I'm not a big Exorcist guy, so
Yeah,
I just watched it.
I really like the original, but and the original I only watched a couple years ago for the first time. I've seen it like half a dozen times now, but I
Mhm.
actually reviewed it in October. And but yeah, I don't know. It felt like Exorcist Believer started really well, really well. It's like okay, they got their own characters. I have no idea why Chris McNeil was even in the movie. I said they were doing so well with their own characters, and it was just like it feels like they said okay, we did a good job on the first half. Then they start going the second half. It's like okay, we got to throw Exorcist shit in there now.
Um, I guess for me, I've only probably seen The Exorcist once, and it hasn't been anytime soon. So recently, so me watching Exorcist Believer, I had really no attachment to the original one, so I really, watched it for what it was. Um,
Mm.
I'm not really a possession guy. It's not really my thing. But for some reason, the characters I really enjoyed. I really like them. I mean, the dad with his daughter, and I get it because we obviously have kids, so I get the desperation and the feelings he was going through. Um, Maybe that helped a little bit for me, but I didn't hate it. I don't know why people hate it as much as they do. Um, well, obviously comparing it to the original, so they're like, it's just a piece of shit. But I get it. They did
You
it with
can't
Halloween 2018.
you can't compare that to the original because the original was a game changer. The original shocked people so much that people couldn't even go to bed at fucking night, puking everywhere. It's hard to fathom. And my dad tells me that's why. He says I took a girlfriend, or I went on a date with a girl to go see it, and she wouldn't leave me. Like she stayed overnight. She was too fucking afraid to go home. Like
Wink.
that movie just got into the fucking psyche in this did unbelievable things. You're not gonna do. So what do? You got to focus on character and story. And I think they were doing that pretty well for the first half. And then it just went into generic
Exorcist stuff.
territory. Yeah. Now, Exorcism of Emily Rose, now that's a fucking movie. That's one I really like. Love it.
I was told that one was good, and I watched it, and I was so bored that I did not enjoy it at all.
I'm not
But
surprised, but that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, you're. I'm not the slow burn guy, so I could have figured I wasn't gonna like it very much.
There's
Um,
only two movies that really scared me, and that's one of them when I first watched it, and The Conjuring. They're the only two movies that have ever really
I do like The
like,
Conjuring though.
and like the first Paranormal Activity when you first watch it is if you set the mood right, it can be, yeah, it's good too.
The only movie that ever scared me was Sinister. Only movie ever.
You see, I got that. That one didn't scare me as much, but that's so
I
subjective. It's so subjective.
Yeah.
Maybe because of my Christian beliefs and shit, though. That's why that excess of Emily Rose did that to me, though, because it
Uh-huh.
just. And I thought the performance by Jennifer Carpenter was unbelievable. Like, it's just really, really good. But
Oh, here's a question for you from Antonis. He said, "What is Jason's favorite Child's Play movie?"
number one, baby. I love the first one. I know people. The second one's the best for a lot of people, which I love. I think second one's good
So
too,
good.
but the first one is more of that slow burn. There, a nice build up to it. So when he does start, when he comes alive for the first time, it's like what the fuck, you know what I mean? And
Stupid big.
I really enjoyed Curse. I thought, is it Curse?
Yeah,
Yes,
Curse.
not yeah, Cult. I didn't like that much as much. Curse, Curse. I thought went back to a hit like a Hitchcock kind of style, so I really like that.
Yep, I know you love Bride of Chucky, Antonis. I used
Yeah,
to love that one a lot,
yeah.
but
Bride's fun, but there's this other annoying characters in it. But Tiffany
yeah,
steals that one, not Chucky. Tiffany steals that movie, like
from the
right away
beginning
from
to the
him.
end.
Right,
Yep,
that's right.
from the beginning to the end. Um, I asked on Instagram. I had another question for you. Obviously, besides the original Halloween, which is your favorite?
Ooh, my favorite. I forget where I ranked these. I did my ranking a long time ago, the video, but it might be Halloween 2018.
Ooh,
Um, I forget where I put it, or it's the. I've really warmed up to Halloween too, the original.
me
The
too.
Yeah, I love. I'm getting to love that movie. I know it kind of goes slow, and Jamie Lee Curtis is useless in it. But it, I don't know. It's just I like it. I like it, man. I really enjoy watching that one. I love the poster to that one. Um, it's just a really good 1-2 punch combo. Watching Halloween, then Halloween 2. So I look forward to that. And I reviewed the original Halloween in October. So every October, I'll likely do a couple more. Because I've already done I did the ranking first. I thought,
Mhm.
fuck it, let's get the ranking out of the way, get some fucking views. No, no, but
It worked.
yeah, I got yeah, and I like I can see I can ignore the problems with Halloween 2018 now that I've watched it like half a dozen times. So I put that on. I just enjoy it now instead of. I mean, the Doctor Sartain stuff's bullshit, but it's still pretty good. Like they brought Michael back and
In a
did
good
him
way.
right in a really good way, and they did him right. I feel like there's obviously some inserted humor I don't like. It's in the wrong places, but other than that, I still enjoy it. It's a lot better than like there's some I will never watch again unless I'm reviewing them. I won't watch 5. I won't watch 6. I won't watch freaking Resurrection. I won't watch H2O. I mean,
You
well,
fuck.
yeah, I'm not. I might watch H2O. It's just I don't know. Maybe after I do a good Beverly Hills 90210 marathon, put H2O
Yeah,
on, and then I think we'll be fucking pretty solid. I'm, I'm joking with everyone.
I know. You know what? Being, you know, primarily a Halloween guy, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think it would happen, but I'm kind of getting Halloween fatigue, my friend. Like I have no interest in watching a Halloween movie. I Not right now. I have I
Well,
love Michael. He's my boy.
I don't think it's just you, Matt. I think the whole internet and YouTube and people talking about it every time the guy takes a shit, there's got to be another video put on it. It's just, um, I think it just got overloaded. It's like Marvel. Marvel fucking
Yeah.
fatigue, man. Like, just I have no. I said I haven't watched anything since Endgame. I'm just like I have no
Um.
interested in watching any Marvel movie.
I think honestly, I think I'm right there with you. I might have watched maybe one. Maybe that Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, I think was the only one that I watched.
My kids want me to watch that. They really liked it. They said,
That was the
but
only one I watched, to be
they like
honest. I
that.
didn't
My
It
kids
was
watch
fine.
freaking Japanese anime. They like Demon Slayer and fucking
There you
shit.
go. You might like it because it's like action and like karate and shit. So you might like it. I got a question from Brett, our good buddy from Good Real. He says, "What can the new generation learn about the '80s?"
The new generation can learn about the 80s that there was no agenda pushing back then. Yes, the
Not at
movies
all.
had something to say, but they didn't have an agenda. They were there to entertain. We had fun time at the movies. We just enjoyed shit. And there was just a certain charm to the 80s that I don't feel you get anymore. There's the odd movie that taps into it a bit,
Yeah.
I think. I can't think of one right now, but especially with like Stranger Things and everything, that's trying to
Yeah.
capture
Yeah.
this trying to capture that Spielberg vibe, you know what I mean? And I would just say charm. When I think of 80s, I just think of charm. And there's one movie that I think is the quintessential 80s movie. It's in my top 10, but like 80s movies, but it's not my favorite 80s movie, but it's Back to the Future. That is the quintessential 80s movie to me. That movie is so fucking good.
It's a
And
banger.
it's such has so much to say. It's entertaining. It has great music. It has great characters, and that's another thing. I think 80s movies was always filled with great cast and characters. It seemed like you get a bunch of even like Friday the 13th Part 4 felt like a John Hughes movie, like
Yeah.
with the characters. So um yeah, I
Damn
think this
back.
generation they can learn, and this generation they go back because I got two dudes who follow me who are only 14 and 11, and they got their own channels and they're out there watching all these old movies all the time. So um this cheesy fun like Commando, like where are the movies like that where we just
They're not.
we take all this have fun with Arnold just kicking ass.
They don't exist.
They don't exist. So it's I think people really want that kind of stuff, just having
It's
fun.
like you said. Nowadays, it's all about the message. It's all about the agenda. What's getting pushed and
Yeah.
not having a good time. Which I don't know if you've seen it, but that's you know. I really, really loved Thanksgiving from Eli Roth. I thought it took it back to the '80s. There was no agenda. It was just a slasher killing
Yeah.
people on
Yeah, I hear it's good.
Thanksgiving.
I haven't seen it. I don't got the great I don't like everything Eli Roth does, so
Yeah.
people are saying it's good. I'll take people's word for it, but I'm hope I like it because I love a good
I'm
slasher.
I'm picky. You know this, and I liked it, so just saying. It's good. I was hoping they came out with a steel book, but it did not. So I didn't buy it yet.
I
I
love
don't
these
want to.
steel books.
I don't want to waste the money on a regular one if they're going to come out with a steel book in a year. So I'll just freaking wait.
I just picked up Expendables 2 steel book at a used place, so not that long ago, just before Christmas, so that was fun.
I'm I'm a steel book lover, obviously. But if I mean, I wanted the Monster Squad to have a steel book. It is a 4K. I couldn't pass up on one of my favorite movies of all time. So I was like, what the hell? I'll get it. Just like Silver
Yeah.
Bullet. Had to buy it. It's
Yeah, I already
classic.
I got 4 copies of that freaking movie. Now I gotta get another one because of the
Silver
4K.
Bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it on VHS, DVD, 2 Blu-rays because there's the Shout Factory one, and I got the regular Blu-ray. And then I see everyone with this 4K one. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's this coming from? I got to get that one because the kids and my wife got me a PlayStation 5 for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, so I do have 4Ks. Like I got Die Hard and Predator on 4K, so I'd like to really plug her in and see how it looks. Some of
Um,
those movies. So
I, wanna- just got done watching Silver Bullet on the 4K before I came down here. I'm not gonna lie, it looked
transfer's nice.
it looked amazing. Looked amazing. So good. It's I can watch Silver Bullet fucking a million times a year. It's just
Yeah,
that
it's
good.
one of my favorite.
Me.
It's my favorite werewolf movie.
Mine
So
too.
I love it.
I don't care if the werewolf looks funky. I don't care. He's fine. You leave him alone. He's a good character inside the werewolf.
He's a
So
werebear. He's our werebear. Let's leave him alone.
he does look like a bear, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the transfer is great. So you definitely got to grab it. That was actually the first copy of it I owned. for some reason. I never got around to buying a Blu-ray of it, so I was like, you know what, I got to do it. I got to buy it. If it ain't gonna be a still book, I want this, and it was really really good. So
Yeah,
highly recommend.
I need to I need to review that one for sure.
Herbert said, which '80s slasher killer should have gotten a sequel who never got one? Cropsey, Harry Warden, Andrew Garth, Hell Knight. Well, I thought Andrew
Um,
Garth died at the end of Hell Knight, so
80s slasher killer should have got a sequel who never got one. Um,
uh,
yeah,
I'm
I'd go with some Cropsey. The Burning is strange how it never got a sequel because it was pretty solid.
but
Um,
but he
you know what I
died.
mean? Well, yeah, but they all die. I'm sure they could have brought
And
him
I,
back
I
somehow.
know they all died, but he like
But
died,
he got the axe right between the fucking eyes, right? So
and he's on fire,
he's
burning on
on
the
fire.
pole.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's a tough
Harry,
one. That's a
I'm
tough
going
one
Harry Warden.
because
He didn't
that never got a sequel, did it?
he didn't die, so
Yeah,
well,
and he's a cool. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie, but he's a great. I think he's a cool looking slasher.
what kind of
Um,
Canadian are you? What kind of a Canadian are
well,
you?
we'll talk about it in our watch along in February, my friend.
It's a freaking
Um,
that's a
I actually
banger.
like the remake more. I'm actually a bigger fan of the
I
remake.
I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of
Um,
people say that. Blu-ray Addict said, "Did you guys see they're making a new Faculty movie?" I saw that mentioned, but I didn't know it was a real thing. I didn't know they were actually doing that.
I just like literally a few weeks ago put that on as this going to bed. I was getting right into it. Never seen it before,
The
and so I
Faculty
got
is so good.
yeah, I got halfway through it, so I got to finish it. But I was enjoying that one a lot. I was like, my
Oh,
boy Robert Patrick's in it, so
The
freaking it
Faculty
was
is really
yeah,
good.
yeah, I was
I
enjoying it. I thought I've only heard good things on that movie.
I don't know why we're making a new one, unless I mean, if it's a sequel, I guess,
Oh.
but I hope it ain't a remake because it won't work. I don't think so. Um, Silver Bull, Bad
That's a
Moon.
good one. It's a
Uh, is that the one where the guy lives in a trailer in the
I
backyard?
I think so. It's really low budget, but it wasn't bad.
It involves a dog, I think,
Yeah.
too.
I like the Howling. I like the Howling. That's really good. Dog
Not the
Soldiers
biggest
is
fan of that.
good. I like Dog Soldiers. That's a pretty good one for werewolf movies.
I haven't seen Dog Soldiers in a long time. Obviously, American Werewolf in London, classic, love it. Um, but it's nice to see somebody like Silver Bullet, the best out of all of them, because most people don't. I mean, it's there on the list, but it's not a lot of people's number one,
Yeah, but
obviously,
I've been
compared to.
watching that since that movie come out. Like, I mean, I was just I was young when I watched that, so I was like Corey Haim's age when I watched that. Like, and the movie just resonated with me. I thought it was scary when I was a kid. Like when I
Yeah,
was a
it's
kid,
it is.
I thought it was like the way it opens, that opening scene when he's on the tracks and it's time for Pearl Beer. Don't you ever guy singing and shit gets his, I love
That's
it.
that head.
I think it's fun. It was scary. It had the way they hide the where Gary Busey, man. Come on. Gary Busey. He's so good in that movie.
Owns. Let's see. Get another question here before we get you out of here for the night. Antonis says, "What is your guys' most anticipated 2024 movie?"
Um
I was,
it's a horror movie. Nosferatu, but I'm wary because me and Robert Eggers don't have a good track record. I thought The Witch sucked.
thank you.
Now when I say sucked, I don't mean sucked. I mean beautiful cinematography. Great performances every time he does a movie. But I think he just needs to get more entertainment and more what the public wants a little bit more. He gets too pretentious. Like I can make a film, look how good I can make this. But
Yeah,
I think we need to get more of a more just a little bit get some generic stuff into your films. So The Lighthouse, terrible. I hated it. I thought it was I would never return to that fucking movie if you paid me.
never seen it.
And The Northman was probably his best one so far. But even that I had just some problems with, but great visuals though. So I'm hoping Nosferatu has the great visuals, but it's just a good story and entertaining. You know what I mean?
I'm not. I don't really get to go to the movies that often, so I honestly don't even really know what's all coming out this year.
If I
Um,
That's the only one I know. Like I don't know what other horror
I
film.
mean,
Terrifier 3's coming out. I haven't seen the second one yet,
I
so
mean,
I
I
have to see
have.
the second one.
Being a slasher guy, people would think I'd love it, but I'm not really a huge fan. It's fine. Um,
I wasn't a huge fan of the first one.
I like the first one
But
more than the second one.
we'll see. I don't know what else is coming out for as far
I
as
want to see
horror goes.
The Strangers comes out again, but I don't know. I'm curious, I guess, of what it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be.
My most anticipated movie is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's the one I'll be in the theater probably to see that one.
Ooh, I saw the trailer for
That's
that the other not too long ago. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Obviously I don't think you're gonna replace Matt Reeves, but I watched the Maze Runner trilogy, which is the director who's doing Kingdom of the Apes, and it's it's fine, the Maze Runner. It's not
I like the
bad,
first one.
but at least but he made a beginning and a middle and the end.
Yeah,
So uh, I'm going, yeah, this guy has the ability to crank out a trilogy. So without it getting so fucking stupid or doing Star Wars kind of shit where it's all over the place. So
yeah, but you know, I'm not. I don't really get to see too many new releases, so I'm not really a good person to ask
dude,
that question to.
I haven't been to the movie theater since Halloween Kills. So when was that?
Um, 2021.
Yeah. So what? 2 years?
What the hell did I see? I saw what the hell? Oh, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
Oh,
So
I
not
was
too
at the
long ago
theater.
for me. I want to see Night Swim, which can't comes out Friday. I want to see that.
And I
Um,
even asked my kids. I forget when it was. I said, "Do you guys want to?" It's when Transformers was in the theaters. I said, "You have
okay,
choices. You want to see the Flash or Transformers or something like that." I forget. And they both said, "No, we'll just wait till it comes out." They didn't even want to go to the movies.
good enough for me. There you go. Look at that. That's a good review. Beginning, a middle, and an end. There you go.
Thanks, Tim. Tim's awesome. Good guy.
That's that's what it is. That's what it is. Um, but yeah. Obviously, wishing you the best of success in 2024. Hoping your channel grows faster, get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is in sight. So hopefully you get to that pretty soon. Continue to keep doing what you're doing because obviously it's working. You got your fan base, you got your people who tune in to you and want to see you, and that is the most important thing. The community that we build, and the fact that I am still, friends with you from way back when we started this is pretty cool because obviously lost touch with others, who I talked to daily back then. Don't talk to them anymore, and that's fine. I know we go different directions, but I'm so glad that you wanted to come on here tonight. And actually, you are going to be on this channel again in what, 2 weeks?
Yes. Yes.
2 weeks.
For another
Texas.
collecting points.
Yep. Another interactive watch along series, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's going to be you and Garrett from Born to Be Rad. So we're amping it
Oh,
up a
cool.
little bit. It's going to be a
Yeah,
good time.
I haven't been on a stream with Garrett, so um, it's gonna be
He's
fun.
he's a good dude. He's a really
I
good
know
dude.
I watch his stuff. He's we're in talks of putting some stuff together. Um, I'm trying the Rad Pack's coming on for Back to the Future in March, but we just got to tone in a date.
Hell yeah.
I know Mel the best out of all of them, but
Uh-huh.
so they're all interested. I said, "How would you like to do Back to the Future?" And they're all gonna come on in March. So we just got to figure out, like, hone in on a date, but because they're all busy. But I said I had Back to the Future. I have to have the
Fit,
Rad Pack. There is no other
fits him.
guest. There
No,
is no other guest than So it's gonna be a rad time, I think.
they're both, obviously I work with all of them. They're freaking fantastic. They've definitely had a big inspiration on my channel recently. So I love all those guys. That's probably why the turnout tonight for this stream wasn't that great because they have a stream right now and it's people to watch them watch me. So I mean, I
I
don't
get it.
blame them for watching them because they're
I get it.
awesome
I get
dudes.
it. I get it. I get it. I've connected with newer YouTubers too, who are more into the action and more into the
Uh-huh.
um some are like they're Bronson fans and Clint Eastwood fans and
Nice.
that kind of thing. So I've branched out to like I know a lot of people like I got my Rocky community too, right?
Yeah, you do.
So it's I've branched out into I'm happy. I'm happy. The channel's doing really well. It's good. And you're doing freaking awesome. I've watched 3 of your videos, the FACCI'S or the cafe. And I
I'm
watched
gonna
the one with Christian. That was a really good episode. I like
Christian's
that one.
Christian's wild, man. Christian's
Yeah,
wild, dude.
Christian and I are so similar in taste. After I watched that, I didn't realize he was such a big Stallone fan. I was like,
Yeah, he
"Holy
likes
crap!"
fucking everything. He's so
Yeah,
I was intimidated when he came on just because he's smart. He knows a lot about a lot of things, but now he's really really busy in his personal life with the business and everything that he's doing. So I don't really get to collab with him that much. But it's just cool that anybody's really willing to collab with anybody. To be honest, like willing to give you guys us a shot. Like Cody Leach. I mean, no fucking way I was gonna get him on this, and sure enough, he was there. Sean Chandler. Didn't think I was gonna get him. I mean,
yeah.
he's
You'd be
like, "Yeah, sure."
surprised who will come on. You'll be surprised. I'm not too much into interviewing. I do got a show in the works. It was supposed to start in December, but I thought,
Pushed
okay,
it.
I'm going to do a season of watch parties and maybe drop that for a bit. It's good. It's like what you're doing, but it's going to be
Uh-huh.
about people's favorite '80s movies. So
Nice.
it's going to be kind of
Yeah,
uh,
your first guest was Garrett, wasn't it? Wasn't it supposed to be Garrett?
yeah, yeah. It was supposed to be Garrett, and then um we couldn't make it work. Stuff this come up, so um I may start that in the summertime, like unwind and rewind. That's what I was calling it.
Yeah.
So um
It's fun. I mean, I 15 episodes in, that's just, like Sledgehammer Horror, they do the same thing, but they reach out to like everyone, and I'm kind of more selective of who I reach out to because I
yeah,
don't. Hey Jim, you want to come on the channel? He'd be like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, I don't know. Just want to come on.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm a little bit more selective.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't. I don't know if I could do interviews like and keep the pace up. That's the thing. So I'm when I do, it will be that like I like doing things in seasons, like what your watch until you drop is.
Yeah,
I like the idea of doing things in seasons because I mean, if you did a watch party every Sunday, you're gonna be at 52 one, and I think it would just get stale after a while, maybe. So I think you should take breaks and try something else for a
yeah.
bit, and then go back to. That's what I like about your channel, Matt. You try different things all the time.
Yep,
That's
I got a new show starting next Tuesday. Myself and Nick from the Lost River Drive-In, our new little podcast thing we're doing called Lost at the Cinema. Obviously, combine both of our channel names into one. Um, Next week, it will be on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite horror movies from the month of January that was released in January in the theaters. And then whatever else we decide to talk about.
yeah,
It's going to be, the first show. Hopefully it goes well. I know me and Nick tried to do podcasts before with Behind the Mask, and it just didn't work out. But
it's
I
tough,
think,
man. I'm always up to collaborating with people, but it can be tough. I thought about maybe having people join me for a review in the new
I,
year.
I remember.
It's just
Yeah.
it's so tough, man. And I'm not very good live. I'm not. I don't find I'm a pre-recorded guy, so but I think if I bounce off someone live, it would be better. But I can't
It's,
control anything live. I like I got
yeah.
so I like doing pre-recorded because I can at least control it after if something's not right. So,
hmm That's
but
what we tried Behind the Mask. Me and James, we did it for a while. Obviously he doesn't really do YouTube anymore that
yeah,
much. So, and then we brought in Chad, you know, worked for a little bit. We brought in 2 other people. We were up to 5 people at a time. Worked great for 2 episodes, and then that kind of crashed. And then it was just me and Chad. And then I don't think, no offense to Chad, I just don't think our chemistry was very good. So I was just like, we're just gonna not do this anymore if that's okay with you, and then just shut that down and started up a different one and see how that goes. And
Yeah,
I do my
it's just what it's sometimes it just depends who you click with really well or what people want to watch. So, um, all I say is try. All you can do is try, right? So,
try. If it
but
don't
like
work,
that's what I
then
mean. Like the reviews and
move on.
rankings are just working for me. So, um, I'm just gonna keep doing that, and I like to pop up on a live as much as I can. Um, or do stuff like this. I'm always up to coming on people's channels. Oh, I will always make time for that. Like that's
It's easier.
yeah, yeah. It's easier. You just gotta ask me questions. I answer them. But
That's it.
yeah.
But yeah. So keep grinding, keep being who you are. Don't change. You never have. That's for sure. And you will be back on here in 2 weeks watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with myself and Garrett from Born to Be Rad. If you're watching after the fact, just let me know that you subscribe to this dude. His link to his channel is in the description below. Subscribe, go show him some love because he deserves it. He works really hard over there. He's an action
Smash
guy.
the fucking shit out of
Whoa!
it.
Get over there and stab that like button and stab that subscribe. But seriously, guys, appreciate everybody that stopped in tonight. And join me hopefully next Tuesday. Me and Nick, Lost at the Cinema, episode number 1. Jason, thanks for coming on tonight.
Oh
Hope you had a
hell
good
yeah.
time in the cafe. And I will see you in a couple weeks, my friend. Peace.